I'm back, and Kelly Sperber, I'm not driving this time, but I do want to do a video addressing depression. So I was asked to do a video on depression, so I'm going to talk about that. I talked about anxiety earlier this morning. I want to talk about what creates depression and how that comes about. And so if you think about your human body, we were talking about anxiety and how the body goes into fight or flight response, or it goes into survival mode and it's trying to protect you, right? So for short bouts, anxiety, you get into this cycle where the adrenal glands push out adrenaline. And so that's meant to give you this huge spike of energy so that you can handle what's in front of you. So if there's a tiger in the room, we talked about that, the adrenaline spikes, gives you a ton of energy so that you can either fight that tiger, run away from it, or just plain out get out of the situation. What happens is with our environments, we're so stressed that we go beyond adrenaline and we go into cortisol. So once we get to a point where the stress becomes chronic, that's cortisol that gets released. And in high levels, cortisol cuts down. Excuse me. Got a dog barking in the background. Hey, Natalia, Naringa, good to see you guys. So when cortisol levels are high in the brain and the body, it causes us to lose serotonin. So we don't have the serotonin, which is what makes us feel good. People say that exercise is a good thing to do. I'm going to kind of look away just to kind of think, and I have some things pulled up on the screen here that I could share too as far as how to deal with depression. When it comes to your body, though, just understanding what's at play in your body is that when you feel immediate stress or fear, your body releases adrenaline. When it's prolonged, so like in our stressful environment with work, we experience cortisol. Now, too much cortisol in the body then causes serotonin to drop, and serotonin is our feel-good chemical. And so if there's too much cortisol in the body, then we don't feel the serotonin, and that's what makes us feel depressed. Now, when emotions are heavy, the way out, one is your diet, the other is exercise, but also managing your symptoms. So in the book, Calming the Emotional Storm, it talks about dialectical behavioral therapy, or DBT. So DBT is a way it was a therapy or a module that was developed to help people with borderline personality disorder, people who have real extreme emotions and they don't know how to manage those. In the book, Calming the Emotional Storm, she gives you tools to be able to manage intense stress. And I would say that if you're feeling chronic stress and that's leading to you being depressed, this book would be helpful because it's going to teach you kind of a toolbox when you notice that you're feeling depressed of what you can do. One thing to remember is that cortisol levels are highest right before you wake up in the morning. I think it's designed to kind of charge your heart, kind of like the shockers that they put on you. It's to give you that burst of energy to get out of bed in the morning. So what I tell people is the first thing that you should do is jump out of bed. This comes from the book Dare by Barry McDonough as well. He says, don't just get out of bed, leap out of bed and get that energy to work. What I do first thing in the morning is I get out of bed. First thing is I make my bed, and then second, I do 20 burpees. If you haven't done burpees, they're hard. So you get down, you do a push-up, you jump up, and you do that 20 times. It's moderate exercise. If you do heavy exercise is going to release more cortisol into the body. And so that's not what you want. What you want to do is dissipate the cortisol, and moderate exercise will do that. So a brisk walk in the morning, 20 burpees is just enough to get the heart going, but not too much where it releases more stress hormones. Your goal is to just get it moving, but not overload it. So when your body's under chronic and prolonged stress, then it's going to release more cortisol, which indicates that you're going to lose serotonin. So it's a balance there. I read an article this morning that talked about the importance of tryptophan in your diet. And so tryptophan, if you want to look at that, there's certain types that are absorbed by the body that get past the blood-brain barrier, which is the barrier that keeps certain chemicals out of your brain. Bananas, I guess, reading this morning, bananas have tryptophan in them, but they can't get past the blood-brain barrier. So you want to get foods that are high in protein and other amino acids. Chickpeas apparently are good for that, for tryptophan. Protein like eggs, yogurt might be a good thing for you to get in your diet. But the big thing is recognize that your depression might be caused by some stress in your life that is intense and that is causing you to lose sleep and worry about things, which bringing that up, sleep is another factor you want to look at. If you're not sleeping at night, look at finding a way to do that. I take, there's a natural sleeping pill from Harmon's that I can get. Melatonin, you might look at that so that you could sleep at night. But you really need your body to get into those deep levels of sleep to regenerate and heal the neurons in your brain from the damage that's caused throughout the day. So even more important than exercise and diet is to get enough sleep. So make sure you're getting at least 8 hours a night, or if you're getting shorter, that you're getting really deep sleep. The whole idea here is that anxiety deals with adrenaline, and it's this cycle where it keeps spinning. Prolonged, it becomes chronic, so you start feeling the cortisol. You may experience some depression from that. Your serotonin levels are going to go down, so you need to do things to bring that serotonin level back up. One is to moderate the stress. The book Calming the Emotional Storm will give you some tools to be able to calm the stress in the moment. For me, I like to distract. I'll play a video game, I'll go for a walk, I'll watch a video, I'll listen to some music. Those are some tools that are distracting and take me off of the intense emotions for a minute. You really want to survive those emotions, but not stay in that survival mode. You've got to re-engage with life, just like with anxiety. So you want to get yourself to the point that your energy is back up, your brain is back, so you've got your conscious brain back, and then from there you want to re-engage with life. And so remember, I think the most important thing is remember, when you're stressed, bring yourself up to a level that you can manage and re-engage with what it is you want to create. I hope this is helpful. I mean, this is going a little deeper into the brain here and some of the chemicals that are at play, but the most simple form is remember that stress, prolonged stress, is going to cause your serotonin to drop, and you will feel some sort of depression. So it's normal to feel grief over loss, but if it's prolonged, that's when it becomes an issue. So acknowledge that that's where it's coming from, manage the symptoms, take care of yourself, and re-engage with life. So if you have any additional comments, leave those below. I'll do more videos throughout the day. I've got some other topics that people want to talk about, so I'll go over those as well. So hope you like it. If it's helpful, share it, and I will see you on the next video.